Forget yeast. This million microbe soil system totally revived my garden. If you've been around the gardening block, you've probably heard of, or even tried adding yeast to your soil as a quick microbial booster. I did too. I sprinkled it, mixed it, even brewed those bubbly yeast teas everyone was raving about online. And, yeah, for a little while it worked. Sort of. But then the results plateaued and my soil still felt tired. That's when I stumbled upon something that completely transformed the way I grow, my Million Microbe Soil System. This isn't a fancy product or some expensive additive, it's a living ecosystem that I built right under my feet. And let me tell you, once I shifted from quick fixes to microbial abundance, everything changed. Welcome to Soil Sage Chronicles, where we dig deeper, literally. Today I'm sharing the exact system that took my garden from May to mind-blowing. Why yeast alone falls short. Yeast is often marketed as a miracle soil activator, but here's the reality. Yeast is just one microbe, and it's a specialist, not a full team. Yeast helps kickstart fermentation, releasing carbon dioxide and some beneficial compounds that can briefly stimulate microbial activity, but it doesn't build diverse soil life. It's like hiring one energetic employee to run an entire farm. They'll work hard, but they can't do everything. Real thriving soil, it really depends on billions of microbes, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, and microarthropods. Each of these little guys plays a unique role in breaking down organic matter, cycling nutrients, and supporting plant immunity. Once I understood this, I realized that sprinkling yeast was like, tossing a Band-Aid on a deep wound. My soil didn't need stimulation, it needed a community. Step 1. Start with a living base. The heart of the Million Microbe Soil System is building a living foundation, not just feeding plants. So I began by stopping all synthetic fertilizers and chemical fungicides. Those inputs were like antibiotics for my soil, wiping out the very microbes I was trying to nurture. Instead, I focused on feeding the soil itself. Alright, so for my base mix, I included a few key ingredients. First up, mature compost from my own pile, absolutely teeming with life. Then I added leaf mold, which I collected from a nearby old forest. It's an incredible fungal inoculant. I also mixed in a touch of aged manure for that slow nutrient release. And finally, native soil, to make sure the microbes were well adapted to my environment. Once everything was mixed together, I gave this base a few weeks to, wake up. I kept it moist and shaded, allowing the microbial community to multiply naturally. No yeast, no sugars, or any commercial boosters were added. Just a bit of time, moisture, and good old organic matter. Within just a few days, the soil developed that unmistakable earthy smell. It was proof that the microbes were moving in and setting up shop. Step 2 is all about feeding the underground buffet. A living soil community needs more than just shelter, it needs a steady, diverse food supply. So I started using what I call microbe buffets instead of just dumping compost all at once. Every couple of weeks I'd layer thin sheets of organic matter right on top of my soil. Honestly, it's like mulching with intention. Some of my favorite buffet items include crushed fall leaves. Fungi really love these. I'll also toss on uncomposted kitchen scraps like banana peels, apple cores, and coffee grounds. Just tiny amounts of well-aged animal bedding work great too. And of course, green weeds and trimmings chopped up nice and fine. By feeding the soil gradually, I encourage slow, layered decomposition. This way, different microbial groups stayed active over time. Bacteria broke down the soft greens pretty quickly, while fungi slowly worked on the tougher browns. Then protozoa and nematodes followed along, feeding on bacteria and releasing plant-available nutrients in the process. This steady natural rhythm built long-lasting fertility without overwhelming the system. Step 3. Create safe havens for microbes. Even the most vibrant microbial communities can crash if they face harsh conditions, like blazing sun, pounding rain, or constant tilling. So, I made sure to protect their habitat. No-till gardening. I stopped turning the soil completely. Disturbance breaks fungal networks and exposes microbes to ultraviolet light, killing them. Instead, I use a broad fork to aerate gently if needed. So, thick mulch layers are really key. I always keep about 5 to 8 centimeters of mulch, mostly leaves or straw, right on top. It helps keep the moisture steady, regulates the temperature, and honestly, it provides this constant trickle of food for all those decomposers working just below the surface. The trick is moisture without waterlogging. Microbes just love those damp, oxygenated conditions. I actually switched up my watering routine, from deep, infrequent watering to light, regular moisture. This way, I'm kind of mimicking natural forest floor conditions, which, by the way, is like the gold standard for microbial life. Once these safe havens were set up, I started noticing something pretty amazing. The soil structure itself changed. It got spongier, darker, and more crumbly. Earthworms came back in huge numbers, and fungal hyphae started lacing through the mulch like these fine white threads. It was really something to see. Step 4. Inoculate naturally. Here's a little secret. The best microbial inoculants aren't always something you buy. They're often found right around you. I started collecting small scoops of healthy soil from different thriving spots, like a patch under an old tree, a corner of my compost heap, and even a wild hedgerow nearby. Each scoop brought its own unique microbial community to the mix. By scattering these across my garden beds and then lightly covering them with mulch, I was able to introduce diverse microbial genetics without spending a dime. This kind of natural inoculation is really how ecosystems build resilience. Instead of ending up with just a monoculture of yeast, I now had a thriving, complex web of life, all adapted to my climate and soil type. The results! Let me tell you, it's like magic. Within just one season of switching to the MILLION Microbe Soil System, the difference was, well, jaw-dropping. My vegetables, they grew faster and hardier with way fewer pest issues. I found myself watering less often because the soil held moisture like a sponge. Can you believe it? The compost piles, they broke down faster than ever before. And the best part? I didn't need any yeast, store-bought miracle microbes, or those expensive fertilizers. It's truly something else. By focusing on building a living soil community, I managed to create a system that pretty much runs itself. It's amazing how the soil now feeds the plants, not the other way around. It's like having a self-sustaining garden ecosystem right in your backyard. Incredible, isn't it? So here are my final thoughts. Build life, not shortcuts. Yeast might give your soil a short-lived boost, but honestly, it just can't replace the power of a complete ecosystem. The MILLION Microbe Soil System isn't about gadgets or secret ingredients. It's about working with nature, not against it. If you're tired of chasing quick fixes and want a thriving garden year after year, start by nurturing the invisible allies beneath your feet. Trust me, they'll reward you many times over. Hey, join the soil revolution. If this story inspired you, I'd love for you to be part of our Soil Sage Chronicles community. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and share this article with a fellow gardener who needs to break free from shortcuts. Let's grow smarter, not harder, one microbe at a time.